giving them a directed outlet for it.
So your dad was one of the coaches?
He was one of the coaches, and he was the coaches of the oldest group. So
okay.
The weights changed over time, but like from the 135 to 140 pound team. So
okay. Which are like the 7th, 8th graders.
That's right. And so I never made it there because when I was younger, I got to play football a little bit up to about 100 pounds, and then my weight outpaced the age group. So I never got to play for my dad.
Really?
But so I stopped playing. I stopped playing football around 11, and then didn't get to pick it back up until I got to high school.
Okay.
Because
you were above the weight class.
I was over the weight, so
wow.
I didn't get to play all the years.
Did that affect you? Were you upset about that as a kid?
Nah, because when I wasn't at football, I would go to practice, hang out with my dad. Sometimes he would still make me run even though I wasn't on the team.
So you were there, you just couldn't play.
I just couldn't
play. But you already knew it was coming. So it wasn't like you were about to play and then they pulled it from you. You already knew in advance.
And I knew it was coming because I started struggling with weight the year before.
Really?
And then my low-key, my dad kind of had conversations with me that I probably was going.
He prepared you for it.
Making weight, and so I just.
So you were struggling with your weight. What does that mean?
I was ready. So.
What does that mean for a kid? Because when a female says it, we get it. Like, anorexic, bulimic.
It meant something different because, I love football. I loved, just the contact of football and, being part of a team. So when I wasn't able to play, it was me not being able to play football. And, I've always been a bigger guy, but I've always been just big enough to be in a situation where I was big and athletic, so you can call me fat if you want. If you wanted to get it, you can call me fat.
Got it.
And so I always was bigger than the kids in the class, but nobody really. I wasn't in a situation where people walked around calling me fat or anything like that.
Right.
But I myself knew that I couldn't play football because I was
you were fat. You was a fat kid, but nobody had the heart to call you fat because they would have got smashed.
So
they would have got crunched, literally.
And I can act like it was just me.
Right.
Like I said, I had all these other brothers.
Right.
And so you wasn't going to just catch it from me because you think I can outrun this big guy.
Right.
Nah. You might be able to outrun me. You can't outrun Sean. You can't outrun Pat. You can't outrun Munchie.
Right.
So once they run you down, they're just gonna hold you there, and I'm gonna run up on you. So if you had to ask yourself, did you really want that? So
that's another experience that you really didn't experience bullying growing up because you had so much family with you at.
Only bullying that I experienced was in my household. Between brothers.
Right.
In life, I can honestly say that I've never been bullied. I've never been in a situation where, I grew up in Camden.
That is so great, because in Camden, in the inner city period, the tall guys and the bigger, fatter kids don't really get bullied. Yeah, so, it's literally survival of the fittest, and you were the fittest.
Yeah, and on a lot of different levels, because even in Camden, you have all of these. The groups they come together, so like LSD was like a group of
Lakeshore Drive, in Fairview.
Lakeshore Drive, kind of came together and protected each other.
Right.
And you had Parkside, you had downtown. So I had my brothers.
Right.
And not only did I have my brothers, but my brothers we were all I'm average in size and the scope of what all my brothers are. So. We ain't have no problems.
Exactly. You never needed to join a gang.
Nobody wanted it with us, and we didn't start anything.
Right.
So
people just kind of left you guys alone.
That's right. So we were always good.
Got it. Did you wind up becoming a parent?
Yeah.
How many beautiful blessings did you have?
So I have 3 boys.
3 boys. What are their age ranges? So
my oldest is he just turned 22.
Okay.
And then I have a 12-year-old and a 9-year-old.
If I take your 22-year-old and put your 22-year-old inside your 17-year-old body at 17, will he be able to live your life?
Yes.
Okay.
So again, I can't even act like my life was hard.
Okay. I appreciate you saying that because, most people, the stigma is people not from Camden automatically assume that everybody from Camden had a hard life or they're dirt poor.
No. So, I know that when my father retired, my father, he was making 6 figures.
Right.
He was making 6 figures, and he spent most of his time in the city. And I got to a point where I realized that we were there because he felt like. you know, he had a purpose there. You know, he was providing a service to his community, and he was absolutely, you know, we became, you know, that pillar in the neighborhood. You know, kids would come over to our house to hang out. You know, my mom used to tell us gate to gate. So we were on the corner, and we couldn't go past
the gate.
You know, the
gate.
You know, listen, we would play our little street football game right there on the side of the house.
Right.
And you know, all of our friends would come and they would play with us because you know, if you came to our house and you was looking for somebody to play football with you, the likelihood of us being able to play the game once you just not pull 3 or 4 people out the house,
right.
we increased the probability that this game was going to
happen. right.
So you know, we became, you know, we were, you know, that go-to police. And,
Got it.
And you know, I never considered myself, you know, to be any cooler than anybody else, but the combination of me and my brothers, you know, I was in the end of everything. So, yeah, but yeah, I definitely think my son will be able to handle because of how my parents structured our life and how you know, they set clear expectations. Like I wasn't running the streets. I wish I would come in the house, you know, after my father said, you know, I was supposed to be in there. So none of that stuff I ever experienced.
So with that being said, let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. You know who your parents are and who they were and how they raised you because you were there. Mm-hmm. What would you say are some of the similarities and differences between your parents' parenting style and yours?
I think my parents had the perfect balance, I think, of, you know, what a mom does and what a dad does. Like my dad was, you know, real big on that discipline. Like my father's a Q, so there was a few times, you know, we caught the paddle, you know, if we did something that we wasn't supposed to do.
So your dad had a paddle?
Yeah, my dad had a paddle.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
So, you know.
And he took that directly from being a brother. What are the Qs? What's their actual tag?
They're brothers. So
no, but what's their
Omega Psi Phi?
Omega Psi Phi,
right. So you know, so he, and I mean, it wasn't like he was trying to kill us or anything like that. But he set the tone. He made discipline key, and what we did, we knew that if we didn't do something that we were supposed to do, we would be held accountable.
Okay.
And accountability was different from my mom to my dad. Accountability with my mom was, you know, my mom could make me cry by, you know, well, actually both my mom and my dad could make me cry by what they say, but it was for different reasons. If my mom would talk to me and explain to me how it made her feel or how it made my brother or sister feel, and then, but my dad, if my mom said she was gonna let my dad know, talking to my dad would make me cry because I knew, you know, I was about to get the gloves put on me. So, you know, it was a different type of you know, interaction. And so, my parenting style is probably a mix between both. My ex-wife wasn't my mom. You know, she didn't. You know, not to say that she was a bad mom, but I firmly believe that my mom is special. And so, you know, the things that my mom was able to do and how she raised us, you know, I feel like there aren't many mothers that have the ability to do it the way that she did. And so I try to infuse some of what I saw my mom do and, you know, what I do for my kids, especially since now we're divorced. And I did get to spend pretty much all of my oldest son's, you know, life with us both together.
Okay.
But now I have a 9-year-old and a 12-year-old, which means, you know, doing so means that I have to kind of, you know, take some of those things and, you know, infuse them both together. Because now, when they're with me, I'm mom and dad. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So,
real quick, do you remember all the schools you attended growing up? All right, kindergarten, go.
H.B. Wilson.
H.B. Wilson, where's that?
That's.
Is it the Fairview school?
It's the Fairview school. I can't remember what street that's on.
Nah, but it's in Fairview.
Yes. Well, it's actually bordering between Fairview and Centerville.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how far of a walk was it for to school in the morning?
I mean,
5 minutes, 10.
It was probably if we walked, it was probably about 15 minutes, but. We never had to walk. My mom always. We always got.
So it's like a 2-minute drive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you did K through 5?
So I did kindergarten, first grade, and then in second grade, I got put in the smart school by default. My older brother was in the CHIPS program at Forest Hill.
Okay. Now what's the CHIPS program?
So that's like it will be considered like the advanced program.
Okay,
so
and it stood for Camden Honors Intermediate Program for Scholars.
Yeah.
Right,
Something like that. I wasn't part of it. I just got to go to the school
because your brother went there.
My brother went there.
So you went to Forest Hill because he went there.
I went to Forest Hill.
So you got bused to Forest Hill then?
No, my mom. She's still to the soul. And what happened is,
where is Forest Hill?
It's that's in Parkside. So what happened was when they sent my brother, they basically allowed all of his siblings that were in the school system to go as well.
Okay.
So myself, the brother right after me, Sean, and my younger brother Pat, we all got to go to Forest Hill because my older brother went to Forest Hill.
Okay.
And so I will say that not just in the CHIPS classrooms, but in every classroom, the expectation was higher.
Right.
What they expected from the students in the school, from what I could see, was a little bit more than pretty much where I was coming from. So I was in that program until I believe the 5th grade, and then I came back to H.B. Wilson.
Okay. In
the 5th grade, and that was more so. That wasn't about us having to leave the school because we actually transitioned into being in light classes.
Right.
But it was just a lot for my mom to have to get
back
so
and
many
forth.
Kids from Fairview to
Parkside.
To Parkside every day. So
so you go back to H.B. Wilson. You graduate from there.
Graduated from H.B. Wilson.
Middle school.
Went to Morgan Village.
Which is in.
That's right in Fairview.
Right in Fairview. Okay.
Went to Morgan Village. 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Walked every day.
How far is a walk?
About 7 minutes.
7 minutes. Got it.
So we were. That's MacArthur Drive. It's right at the end of MacArthur Drive. So I walked from my corner. We were at the furthest opposite end, and we would just walk up that street at the end of the street. We're right there.
So right in your neighborhood.
Right in my neighborhood.
And then high school you did?
High school, I went to Camden High School,
which is in
Parkside. That's in Parkside as well. Right. Actually, right next door to Forest
Hill. Right.
And we were in a real weird situation because we were just outside of, we were just within the distance that you had to be to get a bus ticket. So we didn't get bus tickets.
So you had to walk.
But we were just about 2 miles, from the school.
Okay.
And nowadays, as I say that, I almost feel stupid for saying that was thing. But listen, it was walking through. At the time, Woodland, who wasn't very nice to people that looked like us at that time.
Right.
And then and then I started to walk through Camden. So
right. How many neighborhoods did you have to walk through to get to school? So you had to leave your neighborhood, Fairview.
Leave Fairview, cut through Woodland.
Which is another city outside of Camden. It borders Camden.
That's right. It's like right inside of Camden.
Right.
Through Woodland, then we went through Whitman Park.
Which is Pollock town.
And then came out of Whitman Park, and that's when you enter into Parkside.
You got to walk through Parkside to get to Camden. That's right. You guys had no problems walking through 4 neighborhoods. That's crazy.
Because we all moved together.
Right.
We all moved together.
It's strength in numbers.
That's right. So
and it was 4 of you guys.
Never had a problem. Got it.